Uh, let's start in this session as part of PySpark for AWS. In this session, let's start discussing PySpark core programming, means RDD programming. In this, let's understand what is PySpark core programming or RDD programming. Let's start understanding what is PySpark core programming or RDD programming. So first point item. PySpark provides API for writing RDD programming using Python programming language. Let me open this URL. Let me open this URL. See, these are different predefined classes, predefined functions, predefined variables to write RDD programming to. So if you see here, these are different API, PySpark core related. So using PySpark core API, we can develop RDD programming. Using PySpark core, we can develop RDD programming. So now, what is an RDD? What is an RDD? Yeah, PySpark core means RDD. What is an RDD? RDD stands for Resilient Distributed Dataset. Resilient Distributed Dataset. What is resilient distributed dataset? Let's understand clearly. Let's say this is my file. This is my file. File one. File one dot CSV or TXT or JSON or Parquet, etc. So let's say this file size is 300 MB. 300 MB. And I am loading this into RDD. I am loading this file into RDD. Let's say RDD1. I created variable name RDD1. So I loaded this file using RDD creation. Whenever you load this file is divided into multiple partitions. Let's say partition size is 128 MB. 128 MB, 128 MB, 128 MB. Let's say remaining space, let's say 44 MB. Three partitions is divided. One partition going to store into one machine's memory, Another partition going to create into other machine's memory, and other partition going to create into other machine's memory. So three separate machines memory, it is going to create as a partition. So your file divided into multiple partitions. Each partition going to store into different machine's memory. You are creating RDD. Background, what happens? It is going to divide into multiple partitions. Each partition going to store it into different missions memory in Spark cluster. What is the advantage of this approach? You are writing, let's say, select on something where condition is agent 1. Then how many missions parallelly process this data? 3 missions. So 3 missions are going to process your data parallelly. Here 300 MB. What if you are contain 10 GB data? Your 10 GB is divided based on 128 MB. Let's say 8 partitions. Assume 8 partitions. 8 missions are going to process your data. So parallel processing. Your data is divided into multiple partitions, distributes across the cluster, called distributed dataset. Distributed dataset. Your data divided into multiple partitions, distributes across the cluster. Then what is resilient? Understand here. Let's say this partition failed. Assume this partition is failed. Spark will taken care to create in the same mission or different mission in Spark cluster. You are not responsible. Spark will taken care to recreate failed partitions is called resilient. Resilient means recreation of your failed partition. So Spark having feature of dividing your data set into multiple partitions, distribute across the cluster, and if any partition fails during the processing, Spark is responsible to recreate that failed partition. That's why RDDs are more powerful. These partitions by default creates based on default size. If you want to increase, decrease partitions, we have a concept. Let's say I want to improve more fast. I want fast processing. Then I want to increase. Let's say 300 MB file, 3 partitions are created. I want more partition. Then we have a repartition, coalesce functions. Repartition can be used to increase partitions. So we can increase, decrease partitions using different functions. Next Python. In PySpark core programming, first important one is Spark context. So if you want to implement core programming, you need to create a Spark context. You need to create a Spark context class object. So you can see Spark context class. So this one is Spark context class. See, Spark context class. So you need to create a Spark context class object. How we can create Spark context class object? So there are 2 classes, Spark configuration class and Spark context class. In Spark configuration class, we provide all configurations and we pass as an input to this Spark context class. SC Spark context class. Here we pass master name. So if you remember, I said one we run in our Windows machine, we installed Spark software, we call it as local. So we are saying master name is local. We can also run Spark class in Spark cluster. Here we may have a multiple machines called Spark standalone cluster. In that, this is my master. We give that master name here. Master name. We can also run on yarn cluster. Yarn cluster. Yarn master name we can give here. We can also run Mesos, Kubernetes. Whatever the master we use, we have to pass our master name. If you are running in local machine, master name is local. Here star means number of cores. My system is 8 core processor. 8 core processor. Star means we are giving all cores to your application. I am giving application name is my Spark app. This application I am giving all cores. Utilize this R cores for processing your Spark application. This is way 1. Way 2 is first to create a Spark configuration. Spark configuration. Here you can set application name, master name, how much memory you want to allocate, how many cores you want to allocate. You can specify all the configurations. Later you can pass configuration to this Spark context. One thing, you can pass configuration parameters to Spark context class or create a Spark conf, set all configuration details, then pass as an input to Spark context. This one is way of creating Spark context class. This is way of creating Spark context class. Let me give Spark core programming. Spark core programming. Yes, 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 yes. No. Let me add the point. Will I cover your point? Yeah. So here in Spark core, we have to create a Spark context first. Without creating Spark context, your Spark core program will not start. So creating Spark context object is mandate for starting a Spark core program. Similar way, Spark SQL, they have a separate context class. Spark SQL, they have a separate context class. Spark Streaming, they have a separate context class. Spark Streaming, they have a separate context class. So here, let's say you are using three in your program. You are using Spark Core, you are using Spark SQL, you are using Spark Streaming in a single program. Then you have to create multiple context objects, right? So instead of creating multiple context objects, they given only one class called Spark Session. From Spark 2.0, Spark 2.0, they invented one special class called Spark Session. So you can create a Spark Session internally. It will create all context objects for you. You no need to create. Whatever the context object you want, you can get it. So first, we'll create a Spark Session using this command. Note. If you are using PySpark command, this is called interactive mode. In this Spark context, Spark session, both are created. You no need to create manually using this syntax. See, when I type this command, when I type PySpark command, you can see here. Let me clear the screen. You can see Spark session, and Spark is created. You no need to create manually. Both Spark session and Spark is created automatically. Next point. So clear writing. What is PySpark core programming? PySpark core programming means RDD programming. RDD stands for Resilient Distributed Dataset. Resilient distributed dataset means whenever you load a file, your file is divided into multiple partitions. Each partition going to distribute into different machines. So whenever you try to process that file, multiple machines involves to process the data. So that is the power of a distributed dataset. Resilient means if any partition fails, Spark will taken care to recreate. So if you want to implement Spark core programming, first we need to create a Spark context object. So Spark context object is part of a Spark core application. Spark core application starts by creating Spark context. From Spark 2.0, instead of creating multiple Spark context objects, they given one special class called Spark session. Using Spark session, we can get whatever the context object we want. Okay.